T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello guys and dolls, welcome back to Honey Badger 3D Print and Paint. Welcome to everyone who's joining us. Welcome to Matt, Carl, Mike, everyone, and everyone out in the comments section as well. So today, nice chilled out one. As you can see, I'm currently located in the office. I'll be painting this giant train today. Mike, what are you painting?
I'll be finishing this off.
Mike is painting a giant Hanibal.
Just to annoy his wife.
Just to annoy and freak out his wife, yeah.
And I'm painting the Roger Rabbit bullet.
And you are painting one of the bullets, yeah?
Yeah, from Roger Rabbit. And hollow inside, so I modified it, hollowed it out, and made it bigger, like 500%, I think.
What program did you use for that?
Of course, Luban.
You lube? Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, fancy Luban.
Who else would it be?
Nothing else.
I have decided that I hate myself, and as a result, I'm painting the heads of all the individual rivets because I didn't look to see how many rivets there were before I decided I was going to do it.
And that'd be why I don't paint anything.
So what projects you got on at the moment, Carl?
To be honest, I need to crack on with that that dual color resin. I've got a few things I need to slice. So I've got a couple of Photos Mint dragons. I want to do. Is it blue and orange or blue and purple? The color? I can't remember. I've got a nice...
Well, mine's more like a purple and orange.
Yeah, that's the one. So I'm going to do the ice dragon in that, I think, because that'll look quite nice. And then he's just released another dragon yesterday.
All right.
So it's the never-ending list of Photos Mints that continues to grow.
It does
I
some
would have
amazing models.
like James has, where you can see what he's painting, but I'm actually time-lapsing mine. So I can't use another camera.
But he's just released, I think, yeah, he's done just released the Frankenstein head, actually, you know, for like putting candy in for the kids at Halloween.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool. So I might get that printed.
God, now I can't find the picture. I'm looking for a picture, and I had it like half an hour ago, and now I lost it. It's like...
What's that? Of the
bullet,
head?
yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah,
Google it.
okay. I have it.
And I've had a play with the Beagle Cam this week.
Yeah?
It was pretty easy to set up, actually.
Look, I mean, if what you're looking for is a time-lapse camera, it does the job, right?
Yeah,
It's
works.
It's just a somewhat unexciting... I mean, again, I suppose it depends on what you get excited about. It's just a somewhat unexciting thing, I guess. I don't know.
I found like the interface on the website really responsive, quite quick.
Yeah.
I do need to play with the lighting a little bit in there because I think it doesn't let as much light in as I like.
You can enable.
Yeah, in color as well.
Yeah.
Wow,
which is quite good.
Color? Wow. Really? Night vision color? No.
Yeah.
Since when that
Magic these days.
Wow.
But yeah, it's quite. Do you know what? It was quite easy to update as well.
How unsettling is it when it starts talking to you?
Oh, the camera is on.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, when you turn the camera on, it goes ready for pairing, ready for, and it like when it first says it, you're like, oh my god, what's that?
It's a weird female accent, isn't it? As well, it's not like a Siri or a Google you're used to. But no, I think the app's quite nice as well. There's some little bits on there that needs to be tuned a little bit, I think. But it's not bad for the price. Comparing it to a Raspberry Pi, you can't lose.
Yeah, the problem is the price of Raspberry Pis at the moment is just insane.
Yeah.
And it's not looking like it's getting any better anytime soon, to be honest.
I can get like 10 Raspberry Pis for like 30 quid.
What's that?
Yeah.
Where from?
Asta.
Asta don't
Asda?
sell Raspberry Pis. Yeah.
You know,
Jesus.
Raspberry Pi, you know.
Oh,
If you want a
right.
Raspberry Pi, Asta. You go to Asta.
That would be in one of those books, wouldn't it, of 101 jokes not to tell anyone.
Maybe.
Yeah,
The jokes that we don't, no, the jokes that we're not allowed to tell anyone, we can't say on this stream because otherwise we'll get ourselves a content strike.
but yeah, no,
Asta?
yeah, the Raspberry Pis, they're just not dropping in price, are they?
No.
At all.
Not really. The problem is that so obviously they were using ARM processors, which for quite a while, just nobody really wanted like any ARM silicon. To be honest, they were doing everything with Intel, but now the ARM silicon has really taken off. Like you're getting ARM laptops and things like that, and it's like they've really taken off to the point as to which I don't know when it's going to rebalance.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
the whole premise of Raspberry Pi is that it's a cheap alternative to buying a full computer, right? That's the point, and it's just not.
Yeah. So near about 40 minutes from here, we've got like the Range Rover and Jaguar factory. In Hellwood, and obviously that's owned by, is it Tata? You know, the Indian company.
Yeah.
So just as COVID hit, they decided they weren't going to buy any chips, for the Range Rovers and stuff like that.
Right.
So, and companies like Toyota, Honda and all them would continue to buy them. So when they actually came to wanting to order some for the Range Rovers and that, they
evening all. How's it going?
Oh, good evening.
They had to shut the factory for 2 weeks the other day because they've got no chips and they have to select certain vehicles that they make the most profit on to actually put them on.
Absolutely.
So 2 weeks they had to shut for.
So this one I did. This is just a boiler detail. So this I did before the stream started. So you can see, I tried to put some little dials and stuff on there. It's something you can kind of see once it's in, but not really. So I didn't really want to spend like loads of time on it. So I can glue this in now at least.
So my painting skills ain't that great. So you.
Mine not either.
So honestly, Mike taught me to paint, and I was garbage. Like the stuff that I was like when I first started, I was not like everything I was doing. I couldn't do flesh tones to save my life. I'm not really much better now, but like Mike basically took me from finger painting through to this. So you used to do like Warhammer stuff, didn't you?
When I was younger, I used to paint Warhammer.
See, so I never really did any of that kind of stuff.
But no painting of Warhammer transfers over to what we paint now.
No.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I probably disagree with that. I reckon it does.
It isn't. It's not the same.
If I turn this on, is everybody going to hear? Can you guys hear that?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's find out if it's going to become a problem.
Like if you're painting a face in Warhammer, the way it's done is nothing like you'd paint the face on that Gandalf. Completely different process and skill. It's
So non-stick. The thing with the chips is that when they went to the company to get them, they turned around and said, well, you're not been ordering off us for a while, so priority goes to regular customers. So they've not been able to get chips from anywhere else, so they are only getting a few that they need every now and again. It's crazy. Like,
yeah, my mate's waiting on a Tesla, and he's had his order in for about 6 months, and he's got to wait another 3 months just to pick it up, and that's brand new from the factory.
it's crazy.
Just madness. The thing is, the one he's bought, you think 9 months since he handed over the cash, full cash.
Yeah.
Be out of date.
It'll be out of date. Yeah.
And especially with the cost that I was reading about electrical cars, actually, about the cost of actually charging them now.
Oh, yeah. It's not comparable, and they're just going to put it up. Once it becomes more popular, it'll be like an average cost of a diesel petrol engine anyway.
Yeah.
I saw the lovely and depressing news on come on the news this morning saying that the energy companies were already making plans for having mandatory blackouts during winter.
Yeah.
What came to my mind was,
Gary,
if it starts happening, better plan your prints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last thing you want is a 7-day print, and on day 4 they go, "Oh yeah, we're having a 3-hour blackout tonight."
Oh, Mr. German, you're screwed, aren't you, with your 7-day prints of little things?
I know. I'm really thinking about to get a UPS
generator.
Yeah, not generator, UPS.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. If it happens, it happens. Could be worse, couldn't it? We could be having our bridges blown up.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
We could be at war, nuclear war.
Have you seen that video today on Sky News?
Yeah.
No.
When they blew up the bridge.
Yeah. It's pretty.
And
And they're using it again now.
Yeah. They go, it was a bomb on a lorry. Like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an impressive strike. But it's what it is, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Better not mention his name. We'll get striked again, won't you, James?
Yeah. I feel left out. Everyone's got paintbrushes.
I haven't.
Oh, all right.
I ain't waiting for paint to dry. Usually I use a hairdryer and I dry it off when I'm painting the same area, but it's just going to be too loud.
So, Non-stick, you were saying about a bowl. It's called Frankenstein Monster Bowl. And it can be done in resin or FDM. It's pretty nice. Got like the staples down the side of his head.
I was thinking about them Halloween bowls. It would be cool if you just lopped the top of his hair off.
Yeah. Let's get a multi-tool on it.
I'm less inclined to do it now. I've been painting it for, I don't know how many hours.
Yeah.
Glue it back on.
That's impressive, that is.
But hollowing out would make it a lot easier as well, rather than trying to rip out all the infill.
Yeah. I'll tell you
Because
what was...
going to get some sweets and just tear your hand to pieces.
I'll tell you what's impressive, Phil. Right, so the other day there was a certain person live on TikTok, and a certain person who's painting a train came on live and was showing off his Green Goblin print.
Yeah, I heard about this.
He dropped it.
Oh, it was so terrible. Oh, no, it's so badly. Oh, it went everywhere. Oh, it smashed and everything. Oh,
I've never heard 5 kilograms of resin hit a floor and cry. It was like a proper thud, and James's face was like, "Oh no!" But didn't just happen.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad afternoon.
That was the morning. It was only 8 o'clock in the morning.
The day didn't get much better from there, if I'm perfectly honest. That sort of really set a tone for me.
Oh, it was funny. Everyone's face on who were on the live was hilarious.
TB Gold.
Oh. To be honest, the amount of times people drop prints is like probably like 20 prints I do on resin. I'll probably drop about 5 of them, and they're just shatter.
So last week I've been printing, do you know, like a book nook? I've got one on my bookcase, but it's a Harry Potter one. But I don't have any Harry Potter books. But what I have got is a rather large collection of Lord of the Rings books. So I thought, well, I'm going to print a Lord of the Rings book nook. Makes more sense.
Yeah.
So I printed it, And on the base is a like a staircase with like long columns on it on the front. While I was test fitting all the sides, I broke it and snapped it off. So okay, it's not the end of the world. I can just glue the legs back on and put it into place, which I did. As I glued on the last leg, I then dropped it.
Oh.
And it smashed into pieces again. So I picked them all up and I glued them back all in pieces again. While I was putting it on, I dropped it again and smashed it again.
Oh.
Now you can't reprint it because it's the entire base.
I would have given
So
up.
I glued it back on, but some of the bits just went off into another dimension. So now some of the columns are broken and missing parts.
But it's all right.
That's just what it's supposed to look like,
isn't it?
Yeah. The dragon
Mario.
just broke parts of the staircase. It's not the end of the world.
No.
It survive. And this is why I don't use super glue when I'm doing prints together, because I end up stuck with the actual print.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish it last week, so the night before James printed out, I needed a couple of bits done in resin. One was a light and a chain that hangs from the ceiling, and one was Bilbo Baggins. Now, just to be clear, it's like 10 mil high.
10 mil on your bike? Try like one.
That's not
1
it's like
millimetre
10 mil.
high.
It's like 10 mil high. So
Ain't 10 mil high.
we wanted to film it tomorrow. So I said to him, can you do me a favour? I should have picked them up last week, but I forgot and left them now. I would have been able to finish it. I said to him, do me a favour, can you paint the Hobbit for me? And then when I get round tomorrow, I can just finish the lighting and we can film it. And he point blank flat refused to paint the Hobbit.
Right. I want to be clear about the size of this Hobbit, right? So we're all like, oh, that seems really unfair, James. Why wouldn't you help your friend, James? This, and I'm not even joking, this is the Hobbit.
I can't see it. It's too small.
This is the Hobbit. I don't even know if it's coming out on the camera. It's the thing that's a slightly different colour from my hands.
Just get tweezers.
Look how tiny it is. Look.
Just get tweezers.
It wouldn't take you long to paint that.
No, literally.
Just one color.
I've
Under a
sneezed
No, you
twice
can't do one
during
colour.
the
That
week,
looks
and
stupid.
it's
What have we
left.
done?
I've reprinted that 3 times because twice I've sneezed at my desk and it's just gone away. Don't know where it is. Maybe I've inhaled it. I couldn't tell you, but it's gone.
Oh.
Just the most stressful nonsense.
And now everyone understands why you go big with your prints now, James.
Yeah.
You don't lose it.
Oh my God, that. Do you know what, James? That laugh is going to get you a strike, you know.
Probably, yeah.
It'd be like a predatory laugh strike.
You know when you wake up of a night because you hear a strange noise?
It's that.
That's the noise.
You know, like, yeah, I know what you mean. Like in a horror movie, like you think la 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 la. You know, like my laugh instead.
Yeah, every time I watch The It now, I'm just gonna hear your laugh.
Yeah. Every time I watch it, I'm just gonna hear that. Do you have any fine filaments? Oh, do you like little things, little boy? We ours floats down here.
You're so messed
And
up.
then he huffed and he puffed and he signed an eviction notice, so I stabbed him in the eye. That's just borderline offensive enough, isn't it? I think that's borderline offensive enough. I can get away with that.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
Have you got much on the printers at the moment, Phil? Are you
Me, trying to get through that nebula resin. I've done about 6 pretty standard prints. I'm not really a resin printer. It's been a while since I've done anything like that. I'm not that great at the structural side of it, so I'm trying to push it.
That's why you sign up to Patreons and get pre-sliced files.
Okay. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
But other than that, a few orders on the Macs at the moment, few laser cuts on the Ohm Tech that I was doing this afternoon.
Yeah, I did some black acrylic this week actually on.
What do we reckon? That good enough?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow, that looks nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I did some
Good,
black.
good, good. It means I can stop printing
I'm
that.
quite surprised, like how easy it was to actually engrave.
Mm.
Quite slow, not too much power. You have a nice finish.
Yeah, I can cut pretty quick on the Ohm Tech. I think it's like I could probably cut a few key rings out in about 5 minutes. Say half a dozen, maybe.
What laser powers on that?
Well, it's rated as a 40 watt, but we're going to go for 35 because they always specify it more. And from what I've heard, it's 35, but it's still powerful nonetheless. But yeah, I'll get some good Christmas gifts out of that.
Yeah, I've done. Do you know what I've done? I did loads of jigsaws when I first got my laser. Like, there's loads of really good like free websites.
Yeah,
where you go on, you can actually upload your picture and then put it into like
a
jigsaw, and you got the pattern, and then just cut out a piece of wood to put it in, and it was good.
Yeah. You do the acrylics on there with the old light up LED screens. That's pretty good.
Yeah. The funniest one is when you put clear acrylic on there and you just watch it bounce everywhere.
Yeah.
Not that I'm looking, by the way. I'm just imagining.
Yeah.
I do wear my goggles now and again.
Yeah. But other than that, nothing to review at the moment. No. Well, Sam's in the US, so he's pancaked up.
He's getting closer to diabetes.
He is.
And he promised that he will not eat any more pancakes.
I haven't seen any pictures, actually. Pancakes.
He did. If you go on,
put up some waffles earlier, I think.
If you go on Tripod's Twitter, there's actually a video on there where they've given a rating for the restaurant last night.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it's shit.
That was quite a very verbalistic, loud rating of a restaurant whilst in the restaurant.
Yeah, they've obviously had a few sherbets. But yeah, they gave it a 1 star out of 10.
Did they really? Jesus.
Yeah. And then the funny thing was as well, Sam's like, and the staff, God, they can't do anything. They're useless.
I imagine that what he got after that was some pancakes that had been absolutely savagely interfered with. Like,
rub between the armpits and everything.
Yeah, even more so than probably before.
Yeah. Like
probably have some extra salt on it.
They're terrible pancakes now.
You're right, non-fam. Yeah, it didn't go down well. But they're doing the races now, aren't they?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
I stopped building mine. I'm going to be honest with you. Sam popped over the other week and he said, "How's the death racer going on?" I was like,
"I know, me too."
I got all of the parts printed, all the actual plastics are done. It's the motors, the cost of the electrics and that. I just looked at it. It's like 250 quid.
Look, I've got a mini R2D2, all built, and all I need is the bits for it. It's the costing, like
so expensive,
especially during like COVID. The prices went so high, and like delivery was like months off AliExpress.
Yeah, I think if I was going over with him to Earth or whatever it's called, Earth.
Yeah,
I think I would probably go full hog with it. But the fact that I've got no one to knock about with it, apart from the neighbours and half of the kids on the estate.
Yeah, you definitely
which does require them to have their own one.
Well, I was thinking more ankles.
Right.
But yeah,
well, my plan is to actually do 2 and let my boys just race around in the garden and smash each other up.
Yeah.
See which one can break the dog's leg quickest or something, you know.
Oh, poor dog.
Right, okay, so...
Well, if it was your dog, Matt, it'd be getting it on the head, wouldn't it? It's that short.
So
that looks good.
I have elephant hunting dogs, okay?
That's looking good, that.
Yeah, that is awesome.
This is the inside. You can see I've tried to... Hold on, there we go. I've tried to, like, do some dials and stuff like that.
Did you paint it all black? Because I know you printed it in black, didn't you?
So it was when it was printed in a grey because that part is all resin. So it was all printed in grey, and then I hit it with a gloss black spray paint. And frankly, I mean, so the way the rest of this has come out is honestly, it's such good quality. Like, so this whole section of train, all of this is all resin. Wow. And it took ages. Like it took so long, all of it. It was really, really an unpleasant experience from start to finish, if I'm perfectly honest. Oh my God, I nearly pooped then. Like I nearly knocked that over.
So have you got anywhere in mind to pull it yet, though? That's the
I beg your pardon?
Question. Have you got anywhere to pull it then when it's done? The train, not your poop.
I mean, I don't come to your house and ask you horrible questions. What's this about?
Well, I just like seeing the stress on your face because it looks really good. But like,
I mean, like, yeah. Is it going to
be outside? Is it going to be outside with Terminator?
It goes right there.
So you need that space.
Yes, actually, I need it literally right now. so with everything I'm doing with the so I'll grab the glider. Hold on. So
every time my missus has a friend come around, they leave the house with about 40 prints. Like just constantly.
Same here. Yeah.
Hold on. So this here.
I don't have enough people come around to take stuff.
Just throw them out the window then.
No, I do give a lot. I do give stuff away to charity, so
that's cool.
So this is a really, really detailed model from Wicked 3D. Like it's really nice.
Is that the Goblin?
The way this will end up going is like this, and just because of that stream yesterday, I won't be showing you what the Green Goblin looks like when it stands on it, because I may very well have an aneurysm if I drop this again. But yeah, so that's
actually in my list to do prints, because I have some green clear resin, and I'm like, there's no point now because James is 200%. Mine would just be a little one like that, but it does look epic. Their files are incredible. The actual detail.
Yeah, they are. They do some absolutely stunning work. Absolutely stunning work.
And
he's easily the most positive guy I've ever met in my life. I've ever spoken to.
The most excited person ever.
Yeah, Sanix 3D do some nice. 3D do some nice as well, don't they? They do a lot of like force.
So
you know what?
They used to, and I've just really gone like right off them. So a lot of Sanix's stuff, frankly, is just a remix of stuff that he's already done. So it's a lot of standard body kits, a lot of standard body sizes that he's starting with. He used to do all custom skeletons and everything, and
all the bases are the same, aren't they?
And it's just sort of
what I found is they used to be very accurate, his faces, but the last few I've seen he's done, I don't think they're that good, like the likeness.
So just to give you an idea of scale, this is the Green Goblin.
And that's what you dropped the other day.
Oh yeah, I dropped this yesterday. It was absolutely terrible. But like
you dropped it while it was on the glider.
Yeah, the detail in the face.
Yeah, that's all.
It was so much better the other day. I love
weren't there the other day.
Yeah, I love the detail under the neck on the t-shirt. It's just
yeah. So the head, I mean, again, the head is just absolutely.
Is that piece missing on the nose?
On the nose? No.
Like it looks like him as well. Like
it looks like William Dafoe. Yeah, it looks bang on.
Sculpts are always bang on for life.
Yeah. They've done some absolutely gorgeous stuff. So, I mean, the biggest issue I'm going to have is whether or not I can actually do a good enough paint job. So up until now, because we've mainly been printing in FDM, so like if I take something like Superman, right? So all of this was done in FDM, and it came out pretty nice, right? It did. The print is good enough, but when you get in on his face, there's a texture to his flesh tone, and there's a texture to the top of his torso, and that texture is not supposed to be there. That's entirely down to the printer that was printing it. And it's gotten to a stage now where originally it was like our paint jobs just weren't good enough for it to make a difference anyway. So it didn't really matter. All right, it didn't look perfect. No one really cared. But now, where we're as our painting's getting better, as the channel is growing and we're picking up more tips and tricks. I mean, a fantastic channel to check out is Ground Affected. Does some amazing
channel by
tutorials.
far.
Yeah. He's a stunning painter. Absolutely stunning.
So with you doing more resin prints now, bigger, have you noticed a difference like when priming and when painting to FDM?
So no. Well, so one,
Because
I have
the
found
texture's
that
different, isn't it?
with FDM prints, I could get away sometimes with not priming.
Yeah.
I absolutely have to prime everything with resin. And as well, the primer that I use is really important. So I either use Hyco or I use Citadel's primers, because they're very, very, very fine particulates.
Yeah,
But
when I prime resin stuff, I either use Citadel or I use airbrush.
Yeah. So what we were priming with before was from Autotech, and it had quite a high particulate count. And I was like, well, it's for priming like car parts, so it must be fine.
Well,
But obviously, when you prime a car part, you wet and dry it afterwards. Like, you're always sanding back. So a lot of that Autotech stuff we actually just can't really use. Like, we just can't use it for what we started with. So pop that over there. Right, hold on. There we go. And I will start painting some of this. I'm going to try and get a bunch of copper on first, because most of this would be copper. So
I was, this. So I got this ENO resin. Do you know their rigid resin has glass in it? To make it stronger.
Is it?
Yeah.
They use it. They used it in the toothpaste we make.
Pardon?
Yeah. In
that
the
one
repair,
my teeth feel really clean.
Yeah. So in the repair and protect that we come up with about 7 or 8 years ago, that you guys are seeing now, or recently in the last 5 years, that had an ingredient called Novamin, which is a form of glass, like a fine glass. Yeah.
I won't be buying that again.
It's actually really good for you.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Though, if you actually go through the ingredients, so like you say, like a toothpaste.
Yeah.
Like you look at it, and some of the stuff are like, oh, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I mean, it's so concentrated that like we put hydroxide and stuff like that, potassium in it, and potassium nitrate, which is like used for bombs and stuff. So yeah, but that's technology, and the stuff that we've used to throw out, like 600 kilo batches, just to take 50 kilos of testing material.
Jesus,
it's like a £10,000 batch straight down the drain, or not in the drain.
I was watching something the other day. There's a TikTok video. There's a woman on TikTok, and she is like she does myth busting for like people who say, oh, you can't eat this because it's got this in it. And she's like, oh, yep, that's literally nonsense. Like, it does have that, but it doesn't do what you're saying it does. And she was talking about like there was this mum that got a magnet and crunched up a bunch of like Honey Nut Cheerios, and there was iron filings in it. And she was like, look, this metal's what's in your kids' cereal. Like, they're poisoning our kids and all this. And she was like, nope, Like it literally says on the box that it's got increased iron, and that iron comes from somewhere. And when you crush it up, like this is what you'll find. You'll find iron filings in it because there's increased iron, because we actually need iron to be able to live. And it was just really interesting where she goes like, just because it is, I mean, she said, just be clear, everything's a chemical, and just because it is a chemical does not mean it is dangerous. It just means it's a chemical.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or bodies are chemicals. I mean,
it's just so there's basically, it's all these sort of like anti-GMO mums and things like that of people who are like, oh yeah, you know, you shouldn't be feeding this to your kids because it's poisonous or whatever. And she's like, no, not poison, literally good for them.
It's mad, isn't it? Because like, what is in the last like 6 or 7 years, like you have, like even McDonald's, they have to break down what's in a burger on the menu. Like it's got this calorie, it's got that calorie. Like everything like has to be written down on a loaf of bread now. You know, gone are the days where you could put, it's just got B64, 7, whatever. It's got
or it's got pickles and tomatoes and
yeah,
the most important stuff. No kid reads any of that.
Yeah, and if you're allergic to nuts, this was built done in a factory next door to a nut factory. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But they're thinking about getting rid of sugar tax now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be so happy.
Well, now they've made a bit of money out of it.
Yeah.
We sold Ribena. Ribena and Lucasade, that was our brand. And we got rid of the whole of our brand, sold it to PepsiCo, or I can't even remember.
Yes,
who we sold
Pepsi got it, I think, yeah.
Yeah. One of the biggest brands we had and gone because the sugar tax would have wiped out our profits.
Jesus.
It was something like £3 billion a year they made from things like that. Do you know Ribena and Lucasade made that much?
Jesus. I'd expect Lucasade, because obviously it's quite popular, you know, like people play sports and it's always on offer in Tesco's.
Oh, yeah. I still drink.
Yeah. Just don't tell them.
I used to get it for free, but no, I have to pay for it. I hate it. I don't even get free issue now. I just make it myself.
You used to get diabetes for free.
Yeah.
See, I've gone off buying like the bottles of Ribena because it just doesn't taste the same.
No, it's watered down now.
It's not very nice. But
it's a different material.
Fizzy orange Lucasade, the best.
Really
nice.
It's good when you're ill.
Yes, and they did. Was it apple? Apple. They did an apple one, didn't they? That was quite nice. Watermelon, something like that.
That's a new one. We didn't have that. I think they introduced that.
But yeah, it's quite nice. To be honest, I only get drinks like that when I get a meal deal from Tesco's, because I go for the drink that costs the same as the whole thing.
Exactly. Don't get the cheapest drink. I look for the most expensive of everything.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, just pick the drink.
I love
just
seeing it say £6 and then down to £3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived on Lucasade from 13 to 20 due to health, but only the orange one. Yeah, but what orange one? Is the clear? What isn't the like the clearish reddish one? Isn't that orange?
The only time Lucasade when I was a kid was if he was ill.
Yeah, exactly. That's how
when
I was.
Came in that orange cellophane paper, like.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like
the one that looked like the red color, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I think that's I don't even know what flavor. I can't even tell you the flavor of it.
It just reminds me of medicine.
Yeah, it's a syrupy type. Yeah, but the orange one's nice. I do like the orange one. Yeah.
I give my son, when he was playing football last year, was knackered at half time. I said, have a swig of that. He dropped the whole frigging bottle. He went out and scored 6 goals in the second half. So like, he comes up to me every game and goes, can I have some Lucasade? No, you're only 11. I don't want to destroy you just yet.
Yeah.
Original, that's it. Original.
Yeah, original, yeah.
Yeah, the orange one's nice. But like, you buy a multi-pack of 4 now from Poundland, and they're like, it's like a 200ml bottle now. Like, tiny. It's crazy. But saying that, when I got my Alecki bill yesterday, I actually fell over nearly again. I couldn't believe
Really?
it. Yeah,
Hasn't gone. Mine's gone down. I looked at my smart meter, and it's it was like 70p a kilowatt before. It's gone down to 40p. Or something.
I'm probably using £1 more a day now since that increase.
Us too.
Yeah, but how many printers do you have running, Matt, all the time?
I cut down my printer way a lot. I mean, I had my printer sometimes all full going. Now I'm barely having 3 going.
Yeah, but when them
Has
3
anyone-
finished, you put the other 3 on. Because they're not that expensive to run printers.
I know.
Yeah, I was trying to
Well,
work
I'm
out
careful.
what it actually costs.
About
So
the
they
same penny.
Yeah, they say a fridge freezer for the whole year is the same price, roughly.
Really?
It's
But while a printer's running, it's the equivalent to having a lamp on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
I'm
when
not
it
happy about
heats.
that.
So when you set it to heat and temperature, the bed and the hot end, that's when it costs more because it's drawing. And then obviously if you print it in like in your cabin, it gets cold in the night. Maybe it might cost a little bit more because it's got to raise the temperature up a little bit. And but yeah, it's probably I don't know how my kids have managed to spend an extra £1 a day. Like
How much?
Mine's gone up since the 1st of October at £1 a day just for electric, just on the meter.
So for some context,
Yeah,
you can
you're
all
gonna.
feel
Yeah,
sorry
don't.
for me now. So
Yeah, you're gonna make
right now, my gas and electric are coming out at £8.74 a day.
How much? £8?
£8.74 a day is what.
Yeah,
it's
but your
costing.
wife puts the tumble dryer on just for the fun of it.
She does, yeah. She just starts
then
watching it go round. I just hear her
Yeah.
making wee noises all the time.
Alan, I have actually no printers on at the moment. They're all powered down.
I've only got one printer on, and I'm printing something for James.
Charge
Yeah,
it.
well, shut that
Don't
mic
have
up, yeah.
to
Because
send
I
them
had to
give
print
him it.
that
He didn't paint
frigging,
you there.
I had to print that frigging Gandalf parts. You sod right off.
Carl.
Yeah, but you live in Essex, so you get Essex tax, James, though, don't you? So
Well, yeah.
go on, Phil.
Yeah, that what's that in the background? First glance, small screen. Is that like a bamboo or something?
There.
Yeah. No, your actual outline. What the cabinet is? It a cabinet?
So these are industrial strength shelves units.
Oh, okay.
So I've boxed the printers in. So in the winter, when it's cold, they heat the enclosure themselves.
That's a good idea.
Both of them were like £60 off a website. They come from Germany, actually.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, I
stuff,
just
all
got
good stuff
IKEA
comes
one.
from Germany.
But I could have done really with getting like the 4 foot wide ones instead of the 3 foot to get a little bit more room. But like I bought like some acrylic, glued some magnets on it, sticks to it.
Yeah.
I got some filament spool holders printed off and put them in. It's doing well. Like my Ender 2 is up there with my Focus. And like I had the Ender 2 on before and it took the temperature to 24 degrees. It's only a small print.
Good.
So, and that was an hour of printing. But it does make a difference.
Waiting for paint to dry.
Blow on it.
Tried.
Hairdryer.
Don't get the hairdryer out.
Put it on your printer on the bed. See, I painted this once for a laugh. And it's the reason why I never paint.
I'm doing washes as well, and they take ages to dry.
So this is
Zombie.
Photos Mint one. So this is Captain America Zombie. But I used acrylic pens for that. My kids said to me, to be honest.
Would you print that?
Oh, actually pretty accurate.
That was in resin.
No, like the colour.
What, it was good?
Yeah.
It was probably a lucky guess because I had my eyes tested yesterday. I've got to wear 2 different pairs of glasses now. I'm getting a bit old now.
It's been getting old. It's been old for ages.
Yeah, I just don't like to admit it. So Phil, anything with Photos Mint, I always try and do in resin.
Yeah.
Only because like just because his detail is incredible, like just everything he does is really detailed. He has a gift, doesn't he, James? Is the way he does, like if you go through his whole catalog,
he knows.
his old
He knows.
stuff.
He knows what he's trying to get done. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he always
Yeah.
knows what he's trying to achieve. He's doing an
Yeah.
absolutely blinding job on colours and shape and tone and everything.
So, like,
his proportions are bang on. Like, I'm really loving his stuff. If it wasn't for the fact that the vast majority of stuff was busts, and I just don't do many busts,
Yeah.
I do loads more of his stuff. I do loads more.
I'll do bust.
So I've kind of gone with like the Captain America ones with him and the Moon Knight, some of the Lord of the Rings. But like if you go all the way back to like his first couple he released, they look good. But then you just see that progression over.
Yeah, but you can see how much he's evolved as an artist as well during that time. Like,
and I've watched him on Twitch when he's designing. It just blows your mind. Like Wexter
he's
as well.
quick as well.
Oh,
like the way,
God.
I mean, so actually 3D mechanics is very similar as well. To be fair, I've watched a couple of his streams where he's done designs, and the speed at which he does it. Like, I spend like 25 minutes just figuring out where the paint measure is in like Fusion 3D or something. Like,
to be honest, Mechanics is very good at doing his design. He's just not very nice. He's quite hurtful with his comments.
That's true.
Yeah, he's quite like Alan 3D Mechanics. Like I can tell from his designs from like a year ago to now, like he's progressed so much.
Oh yeah, again, I mean massively. But again, the
things
speed,
out.
It's just, they're fascinating streams to watch, actually. Like, watching him do any of his design work is genuinely, it's really interesting to watch because you get to learn, like, how, like, where he starts to where he gets to. And it's fascinating to figure out, like.
See, like, Thin Air 3D as well. I like watching some of his TikToks because he's quite good like that. He makes really functional prints, and when he does a skull, he's kind of learning and teaching himself as he goes along. You know, there's some serious good designers out there that don't get the recognition that they deserve, to be honest.
Exactly, yeah. And if you think about it, everything that we do now, well, you guys more, it's all around what they bring to us. So the printers are only as good as the artist, and the artist is only as good as the printer.
Otherwise, there'd be nothing to paint.
Exactly.
So like 3D Mechanics went on Fangs probably about 6-7 weeks ago, and he's been in the top 3 of downloads each week on a regular basis. And he was probably dropping about 15-20 print files a week, wasn't he, James? Then, like, just dropping them, like, and they're good.
I mean, the quality of his models is bang on. Like the quality of his models is bang on. But as I say, it's just the pace that he can knock it out. Like, it just blows me away. I don't understand how he can literally do it as fast as he does.
Can Alan drop your link in the chat, and James and that might be able to approve it if it gets blocked.
I don't know if we can do links in our chat. I don't know.
All right.
Like, I literally don't know if I don't know if StreamYard lets us. I tell you what though, Alan, drop me a Facebook message because I can put it on a banner. I can do that.
Yeah, for Fangs, yeah.
I dropped off a load of my Patreons recently. I'm with that Hex 3D. Is it Hex?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I like some of their stuff, but I've dropped off.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. The geese is weird. like, I love his work, but like when he did the Kermit the Frog, the Frog alien thing, I was like, "Are you all right? Like, like, are you okay? Like, I'm concerned about you."
He tends to go on crazies. Like, he did a tiki head, and then all he did for 3 months was tiki heads.
Yeah.
I think I joined for like 3 months and then got access, and I was like, I'm not a big fan of these. So I trimmed. I
really struggle because so obviously we love Wicked, but then they've also got the Berserk Patreon, which is their DC side, and then they've also got a Star Wars Patreon. Now, as it is, we're incredibly lucky. Wicked loves the stuff that we've done, and he's already said if there's ever a model that he comes out with, let him know. He'll send it straight to us and all of that. But again, I don't want to. I'm not after cheating the guy out of like £7 a month or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he's billing. It's not like he's billing top whack for his Patreon or anything. So I don't really want to do that. But then you add up all the Patreons that you've got, and all of a sudden you're dropping £50 a month. You know, and you're like, oh, this is sustainable. Like,
so I've got Flexi Factory, which, to be honest, I it's just different. The kids love it. Like they make really good gifts for like family, nieces and nephews. Clock Spring, he's another one that I won't stop paying for, because his stuff is just. He's another one that changes boundaries with like print in place things. Like when you actually print something, when you go through like each layer, you're like, how has he come up with that? Like it's, but his are so functional. Like he normally drops about 3 every 2 weeks, and the other day he dropped 5, and he's got loads. He's got 2 just for the Bamboo Labs X1. It's you know, and he's good. What else have I got? Photos. I had Wexter's, but I had to stop because, again, he's very Star Warsy. Very, you know, like so he does a lot of Star Wars, but he does a lot like popular TV shows, and they're nice. They're just not my cup of tea all the time.
Yeah.
That's how I got with Hex 3D, to be honest. Like again, a lot of his stuff is really good.
Back like a year and a half, 2 years ago, his stuff was good, but he tended to go a different way with it, and there's rarely anything he comes out with I think I'd print.
Well, there was Anycubic had an event last week or the week before, just before they broke up for a week, and he commented on about a designer that designed something. And saying that he's been stealing his files and everything. I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
It's so hard, isn't it? Especially like designing that, you know. Is that a Santa Claus one by any chance?
I don't know. I'm still have to do the head. I mean, the head.
Did you prime it, Matt?
That's a very long delay.
Don't ask silly questions. Was it white primer, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
PLA primer.
Yeah. That's what the plus means on PLA plus, isn't it, Matt?
Plus
that's the primer what I'm putting on right now.
That primer will scratch off.
Spray it with a covering or acrylic covering, whatever it is. I don't know nothing about painting.
Yeah, I'm acrylic.
Paint by numbers is the most
right
I've ever done.
The problem if you don't prime is that it'll literally just rub off. Like that's the issue. It's not just the paint finish, although the paint finish won't be as good. It's literally the paint will just rub off.
So I've noticed with like some of the little resin prints I've been making
afterwards, don't
lacquer, it's still come off.
Yeah.
Because the paint can't key to the PLA.
Yeah. So I've had a few little resin prints actually in the last couple of weeks, you know, kind of split, even though they've been hollowed out and I put drain holes in, and obviously I've not actually cleaned inside properly enough. So I need to start making sure I've got bigger holes in the bottom now.
There we go. I've posted a link. Oh, there we go. The link in the chat does work if I post it. There we go.
So
I've put a link in the chat, but I've also stuck it on here. Check out Alan's 3D Mechanics. Check out their things, because honestly, it's some awesome stuff on there. He's done some absolutely gorgeous work. And you can see the time and the effort and the energy that's gone into them as well. Like it's
He is working on a few tanks as well at the moment, I hope, and a transporter truck for a tank as well.
Oh, I'm loving that Boba Fett planter.
Like he's done a couple of like cup holders for cans and that.
Yeah.
Darth Vader one was nice. The actual the the detail.
Oh,
of
the
it was
R2
spot
one
on.
that he did was really cool. Did an R2 one, didn't he, with a lightsaber handle, and that was really cool. I like
Yeah.
that one.
I actually saw on Amazon, you know, like slow cookers.
Yeah.
There's actually one out there that looks like R2D2, like painted like it. And my wife was like, "You're not getting that.
You're not having that.
Yeah,
Oh, I
"Hey, look,
can
nice
sense your happiness, and I'm not having it.
Yeah,
You just go, okay.
Thank you for keeping me grounded.
Bye now.
Well, my wife didn't know nothing about my Patreons until I accidentally didn't have enough in my account, and it went bypassed my account and straight into hers.
So
she was like, what's this?
James is painting the train from Back to the Future 2,
3.
3, yeah.
So this has been going on for about 6 months, the whole thing, hasn't it, James?
Oh,
so
God,
far?
I don't even know how long it's been going on at this point.
It's when you got the industrial resin printer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was when. So originally, this was supposed to show off what the magnum opus, the opus from Photocentric was able to do, and honestly, for the most part, it just wasn't up to snuff, which was really disappointing. So now it's mainly done on the M3 Max now, and I have to say that Anycubic have absolutely smashed it out the park with the M3 series.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've done amazing work with it, to be honest with you.
Phil, have you tried the purple blue resin yet?
The new ones that's come out,
Yeah.
the ones that Martin got sent over.
Yeah,
No, I only got the orange pink.
orange pink. Okay.
I'll tell you what, they print really well. I struggle with resin because I'm an FDM. Resin's not my forte.
I did have to whinge to him and say, "Why have you put it in water washable resin?" Because it's horrendous.
I hate washable resin.
It's so brittle.
Yeah,
as much as it
So
looks
it's not even that, right? There is a reality of the and I don't like, harping on the old environmental issues, but there is a reality that if you are washing your resin in water, the inclination is that water ends up going down the sink or going down the drain. And if it does, then go down to your local beach and punch a dolphin straight in the face. Because that's literally what you're doing. You are pouring microplastics into the ocean. That's all you're doing. Because there's almost no way to filter out what you're putting into the sewage.
No.
Almost no way to get rid of it. It's the ultimate inconvenience over social responsibility. I'm not a massive environmental advocate, but there is, I mean, again, because the difference is when I use IPA, I either pour that, what I tend to do is I'll put that into a clear jug, I'll put it out to cure, and then I'll filter out the IPA so I can carry on using it, and I'm left with basically a rock of solid resin, which ends up getting put into the regular bin rather than it ended up in waterways and everything else. And it's
when I couldn't get hold of like a decent percentage of IPA, I had to use like a weakened one. I literally filled up bottles and took it down to my recycling place, and they got rid of it for me. Into a chemicals bin. It's not worth risking it.
Nah,
they incinerate it.
Like it doesn't take 2 seconds, does it, for a cat potentially to get into a bin?
Well,
like there will be people that will leave it outside the water that it's been washed in, or just pour it on the grass because it says it's water washable. It's not going to be dangerous.
Yeah, it makes you ignorant to the real dangers that it's got still.
But James ain't an environmentalist. I want to see him punch a vegan.
He kept trying to make me eat the bean thing. Like, I don't know what was in the beans, but he was so adamant that it was delicious, so I just punched him in the face.
So, Mr. German, we haven't seen you much lately. What else have you been doing apart from making penis-shaped bullets?
Phallic.
incredibly
I
phallic.
finished my project with changes. I printed around about 35 lithophanes, each of them
Of
taking around about 3 to 4 days to make.
which ones? What lithophanes? Was it
Uh,
like the books, the authors?
Yes, the books, the round ones that I'm making. I'll show you. I have one, a bad one, actually, a failure.
What Matt German does? Bad lithophanes.
This one,
Luban's letting him down. That's what I heard.
All their sponsorship.
that's one of them, but I don't have a light right now, so well,
It's all right, Matt. That you don't have to put it on, mate, because it'd be 50p extra an hour for your electricity.
I know.
So you got anything else apart from making these guns and bullets? Anything crazy in the pipeline?
Thanks for saying both of those things on the live stream, Carl. That'll really count towards that ban.
What words together?
Both those words together.
Yeah.
That'll all you need to say now is like Columbine and something else, and we'll get taken straight down. It'd be lovely. To be fair, it'll give me and Mike loads of time back in our lives. It'll be really good.
I'm working a project with Polymaker right now, and testing some filament. Which one is best for lithophane, I guess. And they're making a custom-made one in the future, I believe, too.
Making a what?
So a custom-made one, maybe.
Okay.
So
yeah, because I noticed Sam's got one now, hasn't he, Phil? With Polymaker, he's got his own filament. Loyal Moses has, and 3D General, something like that. They've done a lot, haven't they, in the community at the moment, Polymaker. So it's quite nice, that bit of recognition back. And I'll be perfectly honest, their filament print's really nice.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Really nice. And I keep pestering them about resin.
They not do resin.
No, they've got no plans. And I think they would be quite good if they could, because they've pushed the boundaries with different colors of filaments and different ways of doing things. Like they've got that filament now, haven't they, for making props. So you don't have to spend stupid money on PLA Plus or whatever. They've actually got a proper filament just for making props, which is nice.
Oh, there's so much on this to paint.
On your video with Gandalf, the way you about the t-shirt, still wearing the same t-shirt. It's
continuity is important to us, Carl.
I know. I
We're a
can't believe how
professional
big
channel.
it is, though.
So, Mike, I believe that you said to me that in the books, Gandalf is 7 foot tall.
He's tall. It doesn't actually say how tall it is. It just says he's taller than a man.
Well, apparently, I googled it the other day because I was doing the thumbnail for it, and I like to be very accurate with the things that we say on the channel. Apparently, he's only about 5'7".
No, because in the books
He hangs out with hobbits.
No,
so it's hard to tell.
5'7" taller than a hobbit, maybe. But in the books, it says he's taller than a man. But it doesn't say how tall.
I suppose the average man back, thousands of years ago,
was 3'6".
In a made-up world.
In a made-up. What? It's not real. Oh
no, because when he talks about other races in Middle-earth, when he talks about the men of Rohan, he says they're tall and muscular, bigger than a normal man.
Yeah.
So, don't know what that means. Perhaps they're 6'2" and normal men are 5'10". I don't
know. Yeah.
Matt. Now I know why they call him Matt German now. Yeah.
The only people he says the exact height of is hobbits.
Right.
Why?
How tall are them?
So in the book, when Pippin and Merry meet Treebeard, they go. It's a lot different than the books. That they go to Treebeard takes them to his house, and he gives them this drink from these bottles up on the shelf. And to start off with, they're about 4'2", but by the end of the book, where they've been drinking it, they end up about 4'5". They grow like 3 inches.
Which is a big deal to a hobbit.
It's a big deal to a hobbit because on the last book, when they're all reunited after Frodo and Sam are rescued, Sam looks at them and says, "Why have you two got so tall? You're so young."
Yeah.
And he makes them stand back to back so you can see how tall they are.
Gandalf was a drag queen in heels in the books.
I mean, that's very specific.
He is quite sassy in the books.
Do you know what? I like the Lord of the Rings films, but I don't think I could read the books.
I've just finished the Return of the King.
See, I've not watched any of the series because.
See, I collect the books, but I collect the first editions.
Yeah.
And
I bet they're not cheap.
Some of them are really reasonable because they've been released later on.
Yeah.
But the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit are not.
Hmm.
I actually made a mistake because earlier on in the year I see some on eBay that was a decent price. And I've been looking for them for a long time at a decent price. And I messaged the person and made him an offer, thinking that he would either say yes or no, and then I would decide whether I actually wanted to part with the money.
Yeah.
What I didn't realise is when he said yes, you're actually bound to buy them then. And then I was like, oh, crap. So I had to buy them, and now I've got them.
I'm pretty sure you could buy them on AliExpress. They just take 6 months to come, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they're all in Cyrillic or Braille or something.
Yeah, and they don't have any front pages.
Water washable ink.
Yeah.
Edible paper.
Yeah.
Right,
Something like
I went to look for some parts on AliExpress the other day, and it's gone from like being 4 to 6 weeks to like 10 to 16 weeks for delivery now. It's crazy.
Mm.
It is a long delivery time, but at the same time, when you're looking at things like, especially if you're looking at consumable stuff, like you're looking at nozzles or you're looking at sort of stepper motors or drivers or main boards or anything like that, like the amount you save is just, it's half the price.
Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, they do turn up slightly quicker than they specify.
I've had fairly good, I've been using AliExpress now for, oh Jesus, probably
Long time.
Yeah,
How long-
10
how long
years,
does that
I would,
resin
10
take
years
to
I would
come?
have thought. And I actually haven't really had any real issues with stuff turning up wrong or any of that stuff. Like,
I've never received not what I ordered. Like,
You know that JO resin you get off there, James?
yeah.
How long does that normally take for delivery then?
Delivers from a UK warehouse, so it's like
Oh.
2 weeks. Not even that, sorry. It was 5 days. 5 days for the last lot.
Yeah,
That's not
And
bad
it was
then.
cheap.
Yeah. That's cheap. That I might have a look then. Especially if like they've got more based in the UK for shipping, it's a lot better. Isn't it?
Yeah. So, to be clear, the JO resin is literally Sunlu.
we've got our
literally
filament off there for a long
resin.
time, and I won't wait.
Pardon?
We've got our filament off there for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It prints fine, doesn't it? JO, it's just like Sunlu. It's a nice.
Print's amazing.
Yeah.
Print's absolutely amazing. Again, obviously, I'm printing on the M3 or the M3 Max. Sorry. So, but yeah.
Like
print's-
Eron, they've got PET G down to $10 at the moment in the UK, which is what, probably £9.50 per kilogram. It's not bad. like the pound's really struggling against the dollar at the moment for us, isn't it?
Oh no! You tell me that when we went to New York 3 years ago, it was $1.36 to a pound. Now trying to get my dollars for 3 weeks' time when we go to New York again is 10. Well, it was 109 the other day.
Jesus.
The last time I went to New York, it was £1 to $1.90.
That's when you could enjoy it.
It's worth noting that
When I went
Mike
to
hasn't
the
been
United
since the early 30s.
Now, last time I went would have been
It's got to be about 10, 12 years ago because I
10 years
remember
ago,
it being.
about 10 years ago.
Because I remember they were doing like it was cheaper to fly to New York to go and buy Levi's and like a list of things and then travel back than buying it in the UK.
Yeah.
Go on, Matt. When did you go to America? What was the dollar?
20 years ago.
About 4
20.
years before JFK, about 3 days before JFK was murdered, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I had an alibi. I was safely in 1986.
Strangely enough, 3 hours after he was murdered, he was back on a plane.
One of the Secret Service agents says on the day that he was murdered, all they heard was a from an abandoned book window.
And he tried to go to Argentina, but his laugh, he got rejected.
A lot of people screamed and covered their ears. Collapsed to the floor.
Yeah.
Has anyone watched a new, the Jamie Clarkson thing on the one where they go to Scandinavia? Yeah, the Scandinavian one. Have you watched it? Oh, it's hilarious. I watched it again the other day.
The one where James May has his really bad car accident.
Yeah, he meets a face of a wall.
Destroys an Evo.
That was brutal.
I was amazed he actually got that car back on the road.
Yeah, the footage when he hit the wall inside the car was like...
Just see his head slamming into the window.
Yeah. I like the way Jeremy Clarkson just like put his head around the corner and then took a step to the left a little bit. He was lucky. Really lucky. Hi, Martin. Yeah. Because they're meant to be bringing a part 2 out soon. But he's got his farm coming out now, hasn't he? Because he's he's been served a notice, hasn't he?
Diddley Squat Farm.
Yeah, he's been told to shut down his calf and his farm shop or something again.
His calf.
Why is that?
He's not got the because he hasn't got a permit for it. And he was like, well, like all the calves and the pubs and everything in the local town are making loads of money off me, and all that. And so he's been told foreclosure or something on it. Oh, he's hilarious. That's meant to be out in March next year, the season 2 of that.
The first season was excellent.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was just Jeremy Clarkson being told that he didn't know how to be a farmer for hours.
And then proved right.
Yeah, then being proved very, very right that he absolutely was not a farmer.
And like when he was transporting his bloody fish to the pub.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to feed oxygen to him. What else did he do?
The one that actually made me go, Jesus Christ, was when they added up at the end of the year. And they were like, just to be clear, for a farm of our size, like once you take away all the grain and like everything they'd bought and all the seeds and all of that, like for them to have made like
125 quid, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like £125. And he said, to be fair, the only reason he made that was because of the subsidies. Once the subsidies go, that's it.
Yeah, he with the dam, the joy in his face when he actually got his dam working.
Yeah.
And then he got his tractor stuck going down the hill, didn't he, or going back up the hill?
Yeah.
And that young farmer lad that helps him out, he's hilarious.
When he made the wildland and his missus came up and she went absolutely Garrett at him.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you doing?
Callum.
Yeah. And he sent him to London, didn't he?
Oh, that was excellent.
To try and sell the farm.
And he couldn't believe how much it was to park in London.
And he was like, I've never been outside of this village before.
When the sat nav was telling him where to go, and he was just like, I can't go there.
Oh, it's funny. Oh, he's fun. And that's why I like Grand Tour, because they're just who they are. They're not like portraying.
The Grand Tour's actually better now. They're just doing the long ones.
Yeah. I still like watching some of the old Top Gear specials.
And I think that's mainly because they're not pretending to be something, like Carl says, they're not pretending to be something else. Like, the reality is like, they were never doing car reviews, which is what, so when they reviewed the Tesla, Elon Musk sued them because they gave the Tesla a really bad review. They said they didn't like it. And he was like, and he sued them because he basically said, yeah, they'll never have one of our cars again. They should take back everything that they said because it wasn't right and it wasn't factual. And it's like, no one's buying a Tesla just because Jeremy Clarkson says to.
Mm.
The thing with Jeremy Clarkson, he's got to have an opinion on everything, doesn't it? And it doesn't matter if it's good or bad.
The thing is, he's a journalist, and that's literally, he's a freelance journalist. That's literally his job.
It's humorous, whether he's wrong or right. Like the Argentina special they did.
Oh, that was brilliant. That was.
That was hilarious. And then you can actually see the fear in his face with his number plate, the way it's been portrayed. You know.
Oh, that was 100% intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clarkson's not stupid. And you think of some of the things they've done. They went around South America, didn't they? And they went up that bloody volcano.
Yeah.
They're pimped out Jeeps, and you're being paid big bucks to do this. It's hilarious. If someone comes to me, I'm going to give you $4 million a year to drive up a volcano. I'll be like, yeah, see you later.
Do you want me to go in it?
It's like when they got dropped off from the Amazon. And they had to get the boat off the barge. And Richard had a little Suzuki.
That is nuts in.
Yeah, he had a Suzuki Swift Jeep or something.
Suzuki Vitara.
Yeah, and Clarkson's got an old Range Rover. It's hilarious. George's Gaming Guide evening. Hi everyone, how's the painting going? Painfully slow.
Oh,
I've got one more bit to do once this is dry and I'm done.
Well, I'm not. So I've done a decent amount of the brass and I've done a decent amount of the brass and the copper, and I've done some of the metal work. But there's a bunch of red stripes that are supposed to be all over a bunch of this. So I've still got to do all of that. And as well, I have to do all of these. I don't know if you can see, but all where these are, this is done in transparent, and there's the same one on the back as well, and they light up. And so there's an Arduino Nano that I've got, and they all light up, and I've got to literally do all of that as well. Like, it's going to be.
You know, on the train, you know, when you're painting it, James, you know, like on some of the resin prints, it has like the detail, doesn't it, where you're going to be painting it with the red stripe or something. Does it have that on that? Or
to an extent, yeah. I mean, the model's done really well. The problem is it's just sort of figuring out how you actually want it to look.
Yeah.
So a lot of where I'm painting at the moment, I mean, I'm literally just sort of blocking out colours at the moment. Like, I've not done any gradients, I've not done any texture painting. Oh my god, I nearly pooed then.
And the thing is, James is not used to a paint job taking this long, because he'll paint all his model in one go in like 3 hours.
I'm not quite that bad.
You pretty much are.
The problem is Mike finds painting really relaxing, and I don't. This is really stressful to me.
Do you remember when you did that drinks and paints session about a year or so ago?
Oh god,
that was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was so funny. Like, watching James become intoxicated trying to paint was hilarious.
I Yeah, that didn't do me. That didn't do my mental health a lot of. I wasn't in a particularly good place after that. That was a really bad affair. It's interesting the stuff that. Oh my god! If I do that again, I might actually poo. I keep
Please
knocking the
don't.
fin on this thing, and I can't. And it just wobbles really horribly. Oh god, that was terrible. Oh, that's so unpleasant. Right.
So,
I'm done.
Phil, have you got anything planned print-wise, or are you just going to stick with like doing some lasering for Christmas and stuff like that?
I've got loads of things I want to try. It's just having the time to do it as well. But I don't think I've done so much resin printing in my life. But that's
You
because
enjoying the Mono X?
A bit of a deal with that. I had to send it back.
Oh no.
A little bit of a little bit of financial difficulties there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to send it back. I used it once. Yeah.
So you're back on the Photon.
Yeah, it's really downgraded.
Well, do you know if you want, Phil, I've actually got a longer Orange 30 here, which is a little bit smaller than, about the same as the Photon. It's a 2K screen. You can have that if you want. Like, it's literally sat next to my wash and cure station, and I've got my big ones there. You can have the Orange 30, mate, if you want.
Well,
if you want it, it's there.
Money, obviously.
Right, I'm finished.
I'll give you money for it.
No, I got it to review, Phil, right? And do you know what? It actually prints really nice.
Really, yeah.
Right, I really, really like it. But because it's too small for what I do sometimes, like even if I downsized.
I'll beat you, James, because I'm done.
I'm finished, but I'm not finished. Like, I've not finished painting it, but I'm stopping now.
No,
Like,
mine's finished.
That looks
That's
good.
amazing.
That'll be a good video tomorrow then.
Amazing.
Nice.
Are you going to put a mini mic back in behind you? Are you, Mike?
He's up here.
Oh, is he up there now? It was quite a bit worrying when he was stood behind you on your shoulder, and he was like 2 mics looking at you.
Yeah, now I've just got him.
Gandalf.
A really judgmental wank at the moment, to be fair. Like,
Only if I have my camera on while I'm doing it.
You should put a light behind him so it looks like he's got a halo or something. So.
oh, Phil forgot to put a penny in the internet meter. Like, what are you trying to achieve at the moment?
Move my camera back.
Is it good having your garage up and running now, Mike, then, so you can get
I
going?
much prefer this one. It's not as big as my last one, but I prefer this one.
Yeah, it looks brighter.
Right, guys, I think we're probably going to call it a night there. Hour and 20 minutes worth of painting, chatting. Thank you very much, Carl, for keeping the conversation going whilst I was buried in that. Awful thing.
No.
Yeah, so we've got some more videos coming. We've got obviously the follow-up of Mike's Hanibal. I will get the lighting for this done tomorrow. We've still got the X-Tool D1 laser to review, so that'll be really interesting. I will at some point be able to do a video of the Green Goblin all assembled, so you guys can see that. There is loads of stuff that we've got to do. And
We've got like 4 videos to film tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're getting back to things we actually enjoy. So we're getting back to more painting, more sort of like showing you models, showing you big stuff, showing you cool projects and things like that. The channel's been really heavy on reviews for like the last 6 months, and it's just been both me and Mike's been moving. And to be honest with you, creativity is just not something you can always force down. And there's been moments where I've just been like, do you know what? I just don't want to paint anything. So we're getting back to projects. We're getting back to cool models. So, and we've got new printers on the way. We've got the GK2 that's on the way. We've got a mystery machine. So something's coming next Tuesday. and I have absolutely no idea what it is.
That
that'll be weird.
GK2 looks nice. Teddy unboxed
Yeah, the
his last night.
Uniformation. Yeah, that's 10.1 inch, 8K, heated VAT.
Yeah,
Ticks
Yeah,
a lot
that
of
does look
boxes.
nice.
That looks really, really
a
good.
lot of new little features on like the VAT
Mm.
clips in, doesn't it? And the build plate
Yeah.
comes off a bit better.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that as well. We've got the Mingda Magician Pro. They're 400 by 400. That one's on the way.
Good.
I think we've got the new Voxel Lab on the way. Their new FDM printer. There's loads of stuff coming. Loads and loads of stuff. So thank you very much, guys, dolls, for watching. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Check out Alan over at 3D Mechanics over on Thangs because there's some absolutely awesome designs over there that you can pick up. And other than that, thanks for joining us. Thanks for sticking with us, Phil, Matt, and Carl.
That's all right. Thank you.
Catch you on the next video.
Thanks for the invite.
See you
Take care,
later,
everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.